Hey guys, it's Sam and welcome back to the Regular Size Man podcast. Before we start the show, I just wanted to make a quick little announcement that I, for the month of October, am doing a charity event called The Polished Man, which is a charity that looks to fight against violence against children. I have my own donation page, which we will leave in the show notes below or in the description. So if you guys want to go support me over there, it'd be greatly appreciated as all the money goes towards charity and finding things for the kids to help them. I can't speak. Anyway, go check it out. It's a great cause. Thank you very much and enjoy the show. So, welcome back to the Regular Size Man podcast. We are joined today with Jacob, as usual. He's never leaving us.
Never, ever.
And I'm very happy about that. So, yes, welcome back to episode 20 of the show. Big 2-0. We've done it 20 weeks in a row,
Yeah,
I want to say.
We have.
So that's exciting.
No, not in a row. We broke up one time.
We had 1 week off.
We had 1 week off. No, we had 2 weeks off. There was one. There's one that you're thinking of, and then there was a week we forgot. Or no, didn't forget. We just couldn't.
You're making us look bad. It's like a minute into this podcast, and you're already making us look bad.
That means we only go up from here, though. If you think about it,
we're not missing another week after this week.
We're not missing another week.
Since that, we are not going to miss a week.
No, never.
We're going on a hot streak.
We might upload late. But we're not finishing.
Look, uploading late's my fault. One time because I just completely forgot, and the other time is because my internet shit itself. And I was uploading the whole podcast, and I wake up, and my PC just like ready to upload, and I'm like,
it was ready to upload last night.
I did it last night. What do you mean? But yeah, no. That's that. So that's exciting.
Very exciting.
And work's calling me. Sorry, I'm gonna have to decline.
Then you have to call him back.
Yeah, I'll call him back later. Sorry, work.
Yeah.
If you're listening, if anyone from work's listening to this, I apologize. Maybe Dan. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, anyway, How are you this week? How are you?
I'm very, very good. I feel like I've watched nothing again. I started Big Mouth because Big Mouth season 3 came on. I love Big Mouth. It's so funny. I definitely recommend that. And we just watched the Batwoman first episode.
Yeah, so we just watched Batwoman, the first episode of the pilot of that show starring Ruby Rose. Like, the trailer got a lot of hate. We watched that.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to talk about that like now? Do you just want to get this out the way?
Yeah, let's quick get out of the way, yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, look, putting it nicely, it was bad.
And it was bad for reasons that you don't think it was. Like, there was a million reasons why this show was bad, or like where it could have been bad. And the problem for me, I don't know, I'll go first.
Yeah,
and you tell
for sure.
This show had potential, and okay, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
From what I don't know, we won't drop spoilers.
No.
But like, when I watched this show, I was like, when I was like trying to follow this story, it was like, look, there was a lot of elements that are just kind of like, like, I feel like a lot of too many superhero shows. I think you mentioned this as well. Are just making the shows overly dramatic and overly just unnecessarily like. Too many unnecessary and cliche things are added, like love stories and relationships with families and whatnot. But the thing that annoyed me the most is that the story, they pretty much just like gave the whole story in the first episode in a way that's like, this is the bad guy, and it's like this is, it's just kind of, it had like major plot twists and plot points which they could have added throughout the entire season, but there was like 3 big ones. And they dropped it in the first episode. And it's just kind of like, well,
you didn't need to do that.
It's like, okay, if there's 10 episodes in the whole season, like what am I going to expect from here?
Like, no, I'm with you. I think they should have waited. It's a progress thing. It would have been much more rewarding had they laid it like.
Yeah, they just kind of threw everything. And the other thing was that a lot of the like, I'll say relationship issues because it applied to a lot of different people, so it doesn't. I'm not really specifying.
Yeah,
there wasn't enough reason for me to feel sorry for Batwoman herself, like Ruby Rose, because it's like, like she has this, issue. I don't know the history here. Like, it's just kind of you have to. It's all up. A lot of it's up for interpretation, and I felt like if they spent a little bit more time. Like developing, the background or like these characters, and I'd be like, this is so sad. And it's just kind of like, they could have held off on her finding the Batwoman suit.
It's bad.
Like, it's just like, it's just kind of like,
this
is the issue. She finds the suit, and then she automatically knows how to use it and all the gadgets straight away within like 20 minutes of finding it.
It's the first episode. Don't give us the suit in the first episode.
Even if you found the suit at the end of the episode, like it's still a cliche, but it's like better.
Mate, Daredevil didn't get his suit till season 2.
That's true.
You don't need it, and that's a great show. We don't need the Batwoman suit in the first episode at all. Like at all.
It's pretty much like the trailer, the whole first episode, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it's just as disappointing as the trailer.
It's pretty much most of the trailer.
It is actually, yeah.
So anyway, the long and short of it is, it was quite disappointing. We didn't really have any hopes, but it like
I'm optimistic for episode 2. I don't get me wrong. I think it'll be bad, but I think it might. Episode 2 might help the show.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we'll watch episode 2. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like the storyline that happened in the whole thing. It could have been good, like, you know, if that progressed over a few episodes.
No doubt.
If their space had a bit more and they added more detail, but it's just kind of like everything's so vague and everything's so like, it just kind of skims over so much of things that, you know, people should want to see. Like people would want to see, like learn about the character.
Definitely.
But they don't do that
at all.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, it's the direct. I just don't know like what they're planning to do. It's just kind of like
neither do I.
All their tricks are up like out of the bag, and it's just kind of like
It wasn't even a good bag of tricks. It was a very disappointing bag of tricks.
The only thing I did like was Alice, the villain, and they said that in the trailer too, so I'm not spoiling anything.
I really like Alice too.
Alice was really, really good. I really liked her. And that was about it. That's that's it. So yeah, let's just move on before I get upset.
Let's definitely move on.
So first with the box office update of the week, Joker came out this week, and boy oh boy, what a movie that was. We have we uploaded our regular. Yeah, okay.
Put it high on the shelf, just so you can only just grab it.
But you can still reach our regular size review, which is on all the platforms that you're listening to this on. So go listen to that if you've seen the movie. There is a lot of spoilers in there. We'd like to go into detail with it. So make sure you go check it out and give it a listen and let us know what you think. For the box office, it had the largest ever October opening, which beat Venom, bad luck Sony, and Marvel, as expected, with 93.5 million domestically and 140 million internationally. Interesting fact, though, that the film has a 69% rating on Rotten Tomatoes by critics, whilst it has a 91% rating by audiences. And I think this is partly due to the media being a bit concerned about
I think it's
everything.
Political views, yeah.
It's like, you know, a bit political, because the movie is very intense, very like, covers a lot of sensitive issues, I could say. Yes. I guess you could say. So anyway, go listen to the review. We'll talk about it more. And some more films that are dropping this month include Gemini Man, The Addams Family on the 11th, and Maleficent 2 and Zombieland on the 18th. And I watched Zombieland last week, and it was...
Yeah, you liked it a lot, didn't you?
It's like Sharknado for me. It's like that bad that I just love it.
But isn't it supposed to be bad? Because doesn't it have a low budget and it's supposed to be a stupid thing like that?
Yes, it's meant to be an over-the-top comedy.
Okay.
And if you embrace that, it's fantastic.
I might watch it tonight.
Please do. It's on Netflix. I
might watch it tonight, yeah.
But yeah, that was really good. Like, I really liked it.
Yeah, just going back to the Joker, actually. 235 mil for a weekend for an R-rated movie.
What? 235 mil?
Yeah, that's 140 mils internationally. Like, it's add the two together.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I thought it was like, yeah.
235 internationally, like around the globe for the weekend. That's very good.
It's very exciting because it's just like,
I'm so glad it did so well.
Yeah, I thought, like, I'm so happy that this movie did very well.
It's already made its money back. It's already made double its money back.
The movie's just so perfect.
It really, really is. Yeah. Again, yeah. I'm gonna do it again, but please listen to our review.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see it again this week with my dad.
I've actually got. Yeah, I think I might see it again too.
Yeah. So, yeah, great movie. Go see it. But just, you know, it's disturbing.
Can't not talk about it.
Yeah, it's just we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go see any of those other movies that are dropping?
I'm indifferent about Gemini Man. I think I might see it. The Addams Family. I think Anna wants to see that, so I think I'll be seeing that.
Yeah, you're forced into that one.
Yeah. Zombieland 2, if I watch Zombieland 1, I'll probably watch that.
Yeah, fair enough. And
Maleficent 2, I don't know. I don't think I'll watch that.
Nah,
but
I didn't see the first one.
I think it'll be good anyway. I think the first one's pretty good. I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, but it's good, but you haven't seen it?
No, I think it's good. I haven't seen it. Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
my bad. I've heard it's good. I haven't seen it.
I'm just making sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, October, I out of uni next week, I am.
Yeah, so you got plenty of time.
I've got plenty of time.
You have 11 days, and how long until you go to uni?
A month after that, isn't it?
No, I'm like, how long until you've done like your exams?
Oh, a week.
So 7 days. It gives you 4 days to watch Zombieland. I've seen you watch whole series in a day. You have no excuse. Have no excuse.
That's a very good point.
Alrighty, so trailer talk for the week. Birds of Prey dropped the first trailer, starring Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. It's basically it's a movie about Harley Quinn. It's just called Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Coming out 2020 February. I think February 2020.
Yep.
What did you think of the trailer? You hopeful for
it was colourful, which I was definitely a fan of.
Yep.
The posters, which we did post on Instagram, check that out at TRSM Podcast. I liked the posters. I thought they were very colourful, thought they were very playful, so I was a fan of that. It didn't wow me though.
Yeah, I remember you and Brian were saying this.
Like watching it, I was like, it didn't make me more inclined to watch it. I just was like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna see it because it's a DC property. But I wasn't like, wow, that looks really good. Like I was just kind of like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else I really have to say about it because it's not like they revealed much in this trailer.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it was a lot of different clips from different parts of the movie, bit of action, bit of here and there, kind of introduced Black Mask a little bit more. It kind of revealed the plot that he's looking for a diamond that this little girl stole. But yeah, it's I don't know. It didn't make me excited. It really didn't.
Yeah, they were kind of, I don't know, like when I watched it, it was a couple of days ago now. I probably should have watched it before we started again. But it was kind of like, yeah, they didn't really show it was just showing a whole lot of nothing. And then not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
Don't get me wrong, that's okay. Like,
yeah.
There are, like, I'm not going to hold that against it. That's very okay for a lot of movies.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you finish it, sorry.
Yep, my bad, sorry.
No, sorry. Like, I'm not saying that, like, that's why I'm against it. I didn't mind the trailer. I thought it was alright.
Yeah.
And in a way, if you want to be a true artist and very critique, you could say that it's very fitting for a movie because the movie's meant to be confusing because Harley Quinn's a bit of a fucked up person.
That's a good point.
So
that's a very good point.
I'm putting my critic hat on. Hire me Marvel, hire me DC. I know what, yeah, I don't know. Either way, it looks alright. It's kind of like her breaking off with the Joker type of thing. So
and finding herself a bit.
Yeah, her finding herself. Yeah. And her becoming a bad bitch on her own. So it's, yeah, I like it. It looks good.
What do you think's more likely, that Margot Robbie will be good and the movie will be bad, or that both Margot Robbie and the movie will be good?
First one.
First one, yeah.
It's a DC movie.
I think it.
And if they're gonna do something similar to Suicide Squad, then I'm not.
I think they'll make improvements from Suicide Squad. Because if you think about it, Black Canary is the only one that actually has superpowers.
True, that's true.
So I think it'll be better, and the action will be better.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think that's that. Like, Suicide Squad still lingers in my head, and it will when I watch this movie, which is not a good thing.
Just like wake up in the night, get sleep paralysis. It's just Jared Leto in the corner with his Joker.
Mate, that would scare the shit out of me if I woke up and saw that.
Yeah, look, yeah, I'm excited. Like, I'm excited for the movie still. It hasn't deterred me from like wanting to see it.
No, it hasn't deterred me. No. I really like Ewan McGregor too.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see how he goes as Black Mask.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I'm still excited for the movie, but like, in terms of movie trailer ratings, it didn't wow me.
No, not at all.
No, yeah. But still excited. We'll still go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Still get a review. Still get all that good stuff.
For sure.
Another trailer came out was a Ryan Reynolds Netflix movie directed by Michael Bay. And the only reason we could tell it was Michael Bay is because there was explosions, trophy girl, a lot of cars, a lot of guns, a lot of explosions, a lot of skyline shots, and a lot of US soldiers and US flags.
So it's either Michael Bay or no one.
Yeah, exactly. That's his specialty. And we know that because he does it every movie.
Every single movie.
Yeah, so basically this is a movie with Ryan Reynolds in it, and nobody else, because nobody else's name was put on the trailer. It was just Ryan Reynolds' name.
That's very
true.
It's
got like other cast, but yeah. Long story short, there are a bunch of like ghosts who like are dead, and they try to stop bad guys, and they have cool gadgets and stuff. Someone described it perfectly in the comments. It was like Fast and Furious cross Transformers cross
Deadpool.
A little bit of Deadpool.
Yeah,
and
I agree. I mean, to be fair, Ryan Reynolds, like, for the most part, he's a good actor, don't get me wrong, but he plays the same character in most of his movies. He's quick-witted, he's good-looking, he's an action hero.
Yeah, the good-looking goofball that is good at fighting people.
Correct.
That's Ryan Reynolds in every movie. He doesn't even change his haircut.
No, like
everything about him is the same.
It really is. It really is.
And it just goes to show how great of a guy he is.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want him to change.
Not at all. I do want to see this though.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be coming out on Netflix, so I don't have to pay any more extra money to go see it.
Is it going to come out in theaters? Like
I don't think so.
The Irishman?
I don't know. It didn't say. It's just like, well, Netflix were the ones that put out the trailer.
Oh, so maybe okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it did look. It looked quite good. I tend to stay away from Michael Bay films because they're not good and they're just explosions, and he just goes for home runs every time. But this one kind of looked a little bit different, not by much, but a little bit different. The action, some of the action scenes they did show in the trailer looked really, really good.
Yeah,
particularly the one where he shoots the infinity pool and the glass shatters and the water comes out. Cool. Like, I really like that part.
And yeah, it's just gonna be releasing on Netflix from what I'm reading here.
Okay, that's good.
Which is good for Netflix. Like, good on them.
Yeah, they're very good, very good. It'll be just like their the other one coming out with Gal Gadot, The Rock, and Ryan Reynolds.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, good on them. Good
Not
on
bad.
them. Alrighty. So yes, that's the trailer talks for the week.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have the rumor mill.
Our favorite segment.
This is our favorite segment of the show, and we did get some positive feedback about rumor mill. So thank you, Ryan. Someone loves us.
Someone loves us.
We weren't going to change even if you didn't love it. But anyway,
yep.
You can start off this week because it's one of these, like the second point I don't really know much about, so I'll read it to you.
Then, okay.
So, right. So, welcome to the rumor mill.
All right. So, Keanu Reeves has been turned into Marvel's Ghost Rider in some fan-made posters that have kind of been going around Instagram and all our social media recently. So, would you like to see the action star cast in this MCU role?
Yes, definitely. He looks really, really good as like the Ghost Rider in these like fan-made arts. He just suits. He's got I got the John Wick vibes from like the suit and stuff that he was put in.
Yeah.
And honestly, just thinking him like as his like John Wick-esque character as Ghost Rider, and that because he loves his Harleys as well. Like he has a bike collection. He rocks a suit well. I just don't see why this would not be a good fit as a role. And he's been talked about to be in the MCU for ages. Apparently Marvel do offer him almost every single role that they can. So
I think you're very right.
This is logical to me. Alrighty, moving on. Jesus, come on, hurry up. Thank you. So Zack Snyder apparently planned on filming a scene in the Snyder Cut of Justice League movie that had one of the army generals be revealed as Martin Manhunter.
That's Martian, mate.
Oh, sorry. I can't. I always have to read things through my microphone, so they're really blurry.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
No, so Martian Manhunter. So is there any chance that this addition to the lineup would have saved the movie?
It wouldn't have saved the movie, but I think it would have been a nice touch. I really like Martian Manhunter as a character. So kind of seeing him interact with the Justice League, I think would have been the best thing they could have done for it. And to be honest, like you've already got Cyborg, who's a bit more of an obscure character. I would have loved to see Martian Manhunter in it too. So a bit disappointing he wasn't in it, but it is what it is.
Yep. All right. Cool.
Okay, so Kevin Feige might be writing Spider-Man out of the MCU already, just upon the back of the news that was revealed last week. So do you think this is true that he's doing this so soon, or do you think Disney is still kind of hopeful another deal might be able to be made before the new agreement ends?
I think it's possibly true, but you know what? This is probably true before the whole
deal was
before
made?
everything that happened.
Yeah,
because
okay.
there's also something I want to include in our Marvel segment that you haven't written down. I just remembered now. But overall, I think that he was, but I think that may have changed. To be honest.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll get into that later. So Marvel wants John Bernthal. Did I say that right?
Correct,
John Bernthal, the Punisher role in the MCU. So would you like to see this happen, a crossover between the Netflix characters and the MCU?
In some ways, yes. I would really like to see Charlie Cox stay on as Daredevil. I think John Bernthal is really, really good as the Punisher, so I wouldn't mind that either. Same thing for Chris Russo as Jessica Jones and Mike Colter for Luke Cage. Whoever plays, I can't remember his name, whoever plays Iron Fist, he's okay. But I mean, I think so, because if the Punisher comes in, I think they're more inclined to add the rest of them. So I'm going to say yes, but if it doesn't happen, I'm not mad.
All right, cool.
All right, and for the last one of the week, Matt Reeves is reportedly developing the Batman as the start of a trilogy with Rob Pattinson at the helm, with a possible Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, appearance in one of the movies. Are you yes or no for the potential trilogy?
Yes, I like a good Batman movie. Or 3, so the 3, I'll take 3 if they're good. I mean, if the first one's trash, no.
Yep. If
the first one's good, yes.
Yep.
That's my answer on that one. All right. So thank you for listening to the Rumor Mill. Fantastic. So, I want to get into this news first before we get into this other Marvel news, which I saw the other day on Instagram, and I just want to talk about it because I think we can get a bit more out of this.
For sure.
Bit more out of this than if it was in the rumor mill. So, where is it? So apparently this is to do with Sony and Disney about Spider-Man. So apparently Tom Holland reportedly made multiple appeals to Disney and CEO Robert Iger. I think that's how you say it.
Iger.
Iger?
Yep.
But it's ER. It's not, it's IGER.
It's still Iger.
Okay, fine.
Wait. No. You might be right.
Like Tiger, but a T. Iger.
Then it'd be Iger.
Yeah, Robert Iger.
So you just prove yourself wrong. You said Iger.
All right. Let me start again.
You don't even know what you're arguing.
No, I don't. I just want to be right. Anyway, Tom Holland reportedly made multiple appeals to Disney CEO Robert Iger and Sony Pictures chairman Tom Rothman that reinvigorated talks between the studios to form a new Spider-Man deal. What do you think about this?
It's great that Tom Holland was doing this. Like he's honestly the real MVP in this whole situation. It's awesome that he did that. It's interesting as well. It's very interesting to me that obviously he plays Spider-Man, but for him to have that power to kind of re-engage talks between the two companies, that's a pretty big deal. What do you think?
I think that by Tom Holland doing this, I think Sony realized, you know what? If we can make you happy and put you back in the MCU, you might be more inclined to appear in Venom 2 or
That's
future Sony-produced Spider-Verse movie. And I think, to me, that's, if I was Sony, that's what I would have done.
Yeah.
It's like, what will make you happy to make you come and work for us in one of our movies? And I think that's...
that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Actually, I definitely agree with that.
Because if Tom expressed his disinterest in playing Spider-Man, I don't think he would have made as good of a movie, or he would have attempted to leave the role. But if he's happy being Spider-Man and he gets what he wants as the actor, and arguably the most, probably the most favorable Spider-Man that they've had to date in terms of popularity and likability, it's a win-win for all of them.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So to me, I think it was a smart move, and as for Tom Holland to want to be in the MCU that badly, I think you can't ignore that. And it all goes back to even his post he made on Instagram about how the Wolf of Wall Street one. I really
Yeah.
I think he really is really excited to keep going with that role and finish it off, the trilogy, or at least finish the story of Spider-Man rather than just leave on that cliffhanger that was there.
I think you're absolutely right. I think you're spot on. Yeah, I don't have much else to say, but I think you're spot on.
That's what I wanted to say. I thought that was a really interesting point. And it wasn't a rumor because apparently it's true. I haven't been told otherwise.
I think you're very much right. Yeah.
So it's exciting to see. But yeah, moving on. That's all I wanted to say. So William Hurt, who plays Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU, is currently on the set of the Black Widow movie, where Scarlett Johansson is not believed to be. So she's not there, he is. Just wanted to clarify. So the reason that last point is so significant is because we are speculating, along with many others, that he might be there to film a post-credit scene with Yelena, the younger Black Widow, setting up a Thunderbolts project. Now, can you please go into detail about what the Thunderbolts is?
I can. Just in case you don't remember who Thunderbolt Ross is, he is the guy that tried to get everybody to sign the Sokovia Accords in Civil War. The old dude with the mustache.
Yeah.
That's him. But the Thunderbolts, they're initially formed by Baron Zemo in the comics to kind of take over the world. The Avengers have kind of gone missing. And he thinks that by recruiting other villains, lesser known villains, and changing them and turning them into heroes, and then impersonating heroes, that he can gain their trust and thus kind of... Yeah, so once he gains their trust, he kind of just flips it all on them, starts to take over, and then he mind controls the Avengers, and then he kind of just enslaves them for a while, and that's
just as you do.
Yeah, but then the ending of the Thunderbolt storyline is essentially that everybody else but Zemo says, you know what, I like being a hero, and then reverts to being a hero instead of a villain, and that's how it kind of ends.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting that this might be happening in the end of the Black Widow movie. I'm very excited to see it if that does happen. Yeah, but the Thunderbolt scene would be really interesting because we've been saying Young Avengers for a while.
Yeah.
So to see Thunderbolts instead I'd probably prefer Thunderbolts, but
really, that's interesting.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Alrighty. So that's that for Marvel.
Yeah. It wasn't too big of a point there, but
Yeah.
enough.
All right. Cool. And we don't really have a lot of DC news other than I just wanted to check this in. I don't know if you've seen this, but New York Comic Con's going on at the moment.
Yes.
And apparently that release a Snyder Cut. There was billboards purchased in Times Square in New York City.
I did hear about this.
So it's a picture of Zack Snyder saying, and a quote, "I have a cut, it's done," from Zack Snyder, and hashtag release a Snyder Cut is like on giant billboards in the middle of Times Square. And Zack Snyder actually responded to this saying, "This is truly amazing, and I'm speechless and humbled by the support and love." And I really think he wants to release this, but
there's a lot of things stopping him, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be getting in a lot of trouble if he did.
And that, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's pretty cool that it's still like, well, like loved and well, like wanted.
I think it's cool. I mean, I know that it's mostly unfinished in terms of like a lot of they need green screen for it.
Yeah.
But I would definitely like to see it. It kind of comes back to that Martian Manhunter thing as well.
He did confirm that off on Vero, which is like another social media
website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see it, but I think, as I said a couple of weeks ago as well, if it doesn't come out, it doesn't come out. Not really going to faze me anymore.
Yeah. Well, he's like, I mean, like as a report that came out a few days ago, he's actually gone to Warner Brothers executives and shown them the cut, and he's asking for them to like release it.
Interesting.
So it's really, it is actually very interesting, like how different it could be.
Yeah, very much so. I mean,
yeah,
I think it'll be a completely different movie.
Yeah,
compared to the one we got.
Exactly. But okay. That's that. That's all we really had for DC. I felt bad. We left DC out last week, I'm pretty sure.
We did leave DC.
So I just wanted to throw something in there.
Look, DC, give us something.
Yeah, DC, give us something. Even other movies and TV shows, give us something. The only thing we had from this week is that I watched the first half of Scarface.
How'd you like that?
I really was enjoying it. I couldn't finish it because I had to go to work at it was like 10 o'clock and I had work at 6:45, so I had to go to sleep.
Yeah,
but I was most of the way through. And it was. Have you seen it?
No, not at all.
Okay, well, it was really, really good. And I also found out that The Irishman is going to be 3.5 hours long, and it rated at a 9.2.
For a 3.5 hour long movie.
Yeah, it's a long movie, but apparently it's amazing.
Yeah, I could imagine. It's going to take me 2 sittings to go 3.5.
Yeah, I think I'll wait till Netflix.
Endgame was the tipping point for me.
Yep.
Endgame was 3 hours, was very long. I was like, I can't do 3.5. No way.
Yeah, I mean, I did King Kong and that was 3 hours.
I could do it. It's just I wouldn't enjoy myself. I'd get very bored.
Well, you're not watching the right movie. King Kong was a good movie to sit through.
Okay, interesting.
You gotta watch King Kong still.
I'm not.
I need you to watch. I need to cry about this gorilla with somebody. Anyway,
I watched the one scene and that's it.
Which scene?
Whichever one you want me to watch.
The one that made me cry. You can't do that.
There's
There's a whole story building it up.
No,
it did what the Batwoman show didn't. It built it up.
It built it up.
It made me care about the gorilla that was misunderstood. Oh, I'm getting upset already. Moving on.
Okay, let's go.
Let me move on.
Sound a bit more bright.
All right. Not bright. Ghost Recon Breakpoint released this week and it sucked. That's all I wanted to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It didn't rate very badly. Has a lot of microtransactions, a lot of bugs. Just wasn't good.
Is it from EA?
No, Ubisoft. So
okay.
A bit surprising, but
yeah,
not great. Another thing that happened that was disappointing is Mario Kart Tour had its multiplayer revealed for $10 a month. And on that note, I'm gonna delete that. Bad.
Awesome.
So yeah, that was pretty bad. What do you think of $10 a month for multiplayer in a game that's usually meant to be shared with friends?
Not good. Especially not for a iOS game. That's not what I want to see at all. $10 a month for that. I would not pay that at all. No. Especially with all the other microtransactions in the game. It's just not worth it.
That was the thing for me. If there was no microtransactions, I'd be like, you know what? They made this game for free. There's no other way for them to make money. I guess it makes some form of sense. But the fact that they have a pretty much pay-to-win structure already with the way that their game works, and then they're going to throw in $10 a month on top of that, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, so sure. I'm not sure. But yeah, it was very disappointing. Very, very disappointing.
No doubt.
And lastly, COD comes out in like 2 weeks, and I'm very keen.
I did see that.
How long is it? It's
Is
18 days.
Is it the 25th?
Yeah,
Yeah.
18 days. I need it, man.
You're not gonna.
No.
I'm not gonna see you for that full week.
Yeah, we're cancelling the podcast.
It might be a full COD review from you.
Yeah, no, I'll get you. I'll give
You're
you.
gonna have to play the full game in a day.
No, it comes out. What day does it come out?
It's
25th?
25th, 18 days. So
I'm just gonna get up my calculator right now. Whilst you try and do it, I'm getting up my calculator.
No, it's Friday. It's a Friday.
Oh, it is a Friday. No, it comes out on 25th.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah, Friday. I was looking at 18th.
And then 2 months till Christmas.
I'm keen for Halloween this year. Just on a separate note, I'm really keen for Halloween.
Did you watch David's vlog?
I did.
I want to get Jason's costume.
So do I. I want to buy one of those costumes.
For all that don't know, you need to check out David Dobrik if you haven't already. But yeah, I want that costume badly.
It's a costume of like, it's like an alien, and the alien's
It's one of those ones that you wear where you put it on and it looks like, you know, like those ones where there's the horse.
Yeah, and it's like
and the legs
horse.
flop over the side. Yeah, it's like that. Think about it.
It looks really cool. I'm gonna try and find one.
Yeah.
But anyway, on to our more important gaming news of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So Marvel's Avengers, some new details came out through Comic-Con. So firstly, a Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, gameplay trailer was revealed. So it shows that she's going to be in the Avengers game, and she's actually going to be the main protagonist of the game. So if you don't know what that is, like the main person that the game's about.
Mm-hmm.
So the campaign length was also revealed, being around 10 to 12 hours, and it was said by one of the developers or something, directors or something, that if you want to do side missions and main story, it's going to be about 30 hours. But they also said, Crystal Dynamics, the people making the game, basically said they're going to build it like the previous games, like Tomb Raider, and 30 hours and 10 to 12 hours and 30 hours aren't just like set in stone figures, but they're structuring it like their previous games, and that's how long their previous games were. Okay. So it's going to probably be like roughly around that, which is exciting. And after watching this Kamala Khan trailer, we should have put this in trailer talk, but
we should have.
There's more details to it, so I wanted to keep it separate. I'm very excited, and I think that the addition of Miss Marvel was a good choice. And I've had time to think about this from when I watched the trailer. The trailer just looks cool, but I have more reason to. I think it was a good choice for a game, and I'll get it. You can go first, or what you thought of it, and I'll explain what I think as well.
Well, yeah, I'm with you as well. I think it was a great addition to the cast. This trailer definitely sheds a bit more light as to the universe as it stands after Cap's death. It kind of gives a bit more motivation to each of the characters as well. I thought she looked great in it. It looks good. I'm excited to use her in it because apparently what the developers said is that she has the best. She's the best melee character to use, better than the Hulk. So I'm very excited to see that.
So she'll be in Smash Bros within a year.
I hope so. I hope so. What were your thoughts? Because I don't really have much more.
I think having a young protagonist in a video game, is like a good touch.
Yes.
And especially at the end of the trailer when you see her like slurping on the slushy, and like it's just kind of showing like, you know, she's still a child, and like Bruce Banner's like, "You're so annoying, shut up." Like, you know, like it's like the passive, like aggressive, like stare over. It's like showing like how she's like a child in this group of adults, and she's like stepping into a world she's not really familiar with, but she can hold her own. And I really like how a young protagonist is good, especially like when we look at the demographics of who's most likely going to play this game. It's going to be a younger age range, and playing a younger character is, you know, going to be a cool feeling.
Yeah,
for me. Like obviously there's going to be older players as well, but you know, diehard players are probably going to be on the younger side of like people who are going to spend hours and hours and hours upon this game is because they have no other responsibilities in their life. Like me.
It's the same. It was the same deal playing Spider-Man and seeing Spider-Man in Homecoming and Far From Home.
Exactly. I think that's kind of got the same form of relatability in terms of a demographic. I don't know what
you're on the ball today. You've had some great insights.
Thank you, my friend. I've really thought about it a lot.
Very good. Yeah.
I've really been enjoying the podcast lately, so I think I've been putting more into it. And I think, you know, I hope that you guys enjoy that too. Yeah. But thank you. I appreciate it. You've been doing very well too.
Thank you.
I just want to like shout out Pritch at the moment. He does the first draft of everything of notes we have. Like every notes and all the topics we have every single week. Jacob is the one who puts it together at the start, and then I just add in other things I find.
It's an enjoyable process.
So yes, great work. You've done amazing.
Hey,
I like what we're doing.
Likewise to you.
I like what we're doing.
Likewise.
Oh, fantastic.
Should we get on to our bit more larger topics?
Yes. So
all right.
This one is, I think it's quite humorous because more was added today to it. So Martin Scorcese Scorcese, whatever you want to call him. So this in the last week, Martin, we're going to call him, legendary director. I'll read you a list of his movies that he's like, made to date. So he's got The Irishman that's coming out this year, which is what we've been very hyped for. But some really good iconic movies he's made is Goodfellas, The Departed, Wolf of Wall Street, Shutter Island. I'm just reading like ones you'd know probably. Shark Tale, iconic.
Did he do Shark Tale?
Apparently so.
What the hell?
I know. He's done a lot of big movies. I'm just like reading some that known by everybody. Yeah. It's probably like the biggest ones that you'd know. Probably the biggest ones you'd know at the top of that. Maybe The Family, if you know that one too. Anyway, long story short, he's a legendary director and he's just well known everywhere. Everybody, he's like an icon in the thing, in the industry. But he's come out and said that Marvel Cinematic Universe films, MCU films, are not cinema, and it's like saying it's going to a theme park. It's like a roller coaster.
I did say that, yeah.
And he went on to say that it isn't, in quote, it isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences to another human being. So basically what he says is that they're emotionless and people who watch them are sheep.
I think he also is trying to say that you can't connect to them because they're superheroes.
Yeah, and to that I say, you never watched all 23 movies because I cried in Endgame 5 times. Yeah. So take that, Martin. But today, Samuel L. Jackson has since reacted to this saying, I mean, that's like saying Bugs Bunny ain't funny. Films are films. Everybody doesn't like his stuff either. Everybody's got an opinion. So basically said that Martin is trash and, fuck the haters.
Yeah.
And James Gunn actually responded to this too. I don't know if you saw this one.
I didn't see James Gunn.
James Gunn came out and said that it was a bit disheartening because he loved Martin Scorcese, but he knows that, he's not going to always please everybody. I'll get his quote up as well. Quickly, what are your thoughts on this take?
I think he's straight up just wrong. Obviously, I'm not a director in any sense of the word, like at all. But I just, I don't understand how you can't say they're not real cinema. I can understand the point he's trying to make. I still think it's wrong. A lot of these characters are very, very grounded. Throughout Thor's arc in all 3 Thor movies and the Avengers movies, he goes from someone who thinks he's top shit to nothing, to back up to someone who's the most powerful Avenger there, and he spends a lot of his time on Earth. He gets a lot. He starts to meet a lot of the other Avengers. He just has this whole arc where he goes from a god kind of down to a human back to like a middle ground of the two. And I don't see how that's not people interacting and what he's saying.
Do you think, this is a hot take, people have been saying that Martin Scorsese is jealous of Marvel films because of how much money they rake in. What do you think of this opinion? Because I don't, not that I disagree, but I don't think jealousy is his main motive for what he's saying. Because obviously he has no reason to be jealous because he's made some amazing films over his time. But what's that take? What do you think?
I don't know. I wouldn't have thought it'd be his motive either. I think it's very peculiar if that's the reason. Well,
it's kind of like, I think like people think it's like, well, he makes these masterpieces of films that take years to make and then people just bring out a Marvel film and it's like almost $1 billion guaranteed movie.
I could get that, yeah. I think that would make more sense.
Yeah, I don't think so. But James Gunn, he replied to this saying, Martin Scorsese is one of my 5 favorite living filmmakers. I was outraged when people picketed The Last Temptation of Christ without having seen the film. I'm saddened that he's now judging my films in the same way. That being said, I will always love Scorsese, be grateful for his contribution to cinema, and can't wait to see The Irishman. And not religiously zealotry? Zeal or try is the same as not liking my movies or in the same category. What I'm saying is I'm not fond of people judging things without actually seeing them, whether it's just a movie about Jesus or a genre. So basically he's just like, I am sad that, he's judging my films without seeing them. And it's probably true. He probably hasn't seen them.
It's a very fair complaint.
But I think it's quite interesting that, he's gone out and said this big stuff. And maybe it's a bit of a publicity stunt for The Irishman because, whilst we're excited for this movie, it's probably not a more wider known thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely understand. I don't know. I don't think that's what it is.
No, I just think it's like a legitimate, just like he's a bit older and he's just kind of like, you know.
He probably is a bit salty, to be honest.
Like my day, we made real movies, and like now they got these. And to be fair, if I was an older like director, and I came and see that Disney were coming out and just remaking The Lion King, remaking Aladdin, and making $1 billion on these films, and you've put hard work, you know, more work, and not making $500 million, sorry. I'd probably be salty. I won't lie. I would definitely be salty.
I mean, I could be salty, but I wouldn't say they're not good films.
Or they aren't cinema. I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
You know, they've made some really good films out of this. So, look, Martin, I'm sorry, but you have a cold take here. It's freezing in here.
Yeah.
We're turning on the heater, getting the blankets. It's just fucking 40 degrees outside. It could be 40 degrees outside today, and I'd still be wrapping myself in a blanket from your cold take.
Yep. That's wrong. He's just wrong.
I am very excited for The Irishman, though.
Yeah, likewise.
But yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
So Marvel versus Martin Scorcese. Who wins?
We shall see.
Marvel, because they have fucking Thor. Anyway, I mean, they have De Niro. It's pretty much the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
If it, actually, no, I won't say what I was about to say.
Hold back.
Yeah. So, and next of our longer topics is a bit of a debate. So, in 2021, both Marvel and DC, biggest properties will face off against one another. So, Batman is set to drop on 25th of June 2021, and MCU's final Spider-Man solo film is set to drop a month later on July 16th. Now, what is going to be the better film? Jacob, will you present your opening arguments?
Yes, so I am coming in at the defense of the Batman. I think that I'm going to win this, so let's just see how this goes. I think, first and foremost, coming off the success of the Joker is a great step in the right direction. Without revealing anything that happened in the film, go check out our review once again. For the Joker to have such high success, being R-rated, all very bloody and and having a dark tone, is a very, very good thing. It helps that you can now put the Batman in more of an MA kind of category, because I don't think they'll go R with the Batman, but it definitely helps lift that off. There was a lot of promise once leaving the theatre when we saw Joker. There's a lot of ways they can take the Batman, where they want to have the same universe or a different universe, so I think that's definitely going to propel it in the right direction. Robert Pattinson will be doing a younger Batman, something we haven't really seen apart from Batman Begins with Christian Bale, I suppose. And I think that's, honestly, I think that's the biggest selling point. I really, really want to see a young Batman. It's going to be not going to be year 1, but it's going to be like year 2, year 3, year 4 maybe of Batman. And I think that's a great selling point for the marketing, for everything. I think you've just got so much more to work with. So I think that's why that's going to go well. The rumored storyline that we've talked about a couple of weeks ago as well with the Long Halloween, I think that's it's so intriguing, and I really do think that's a great storyline to go down. There are rumors that Nightwing will make an appearance in one of them films, and once again, I haven't really seen a good Nightwing at all. Except for hopefully Titan Season 2 whenever we get to watch that in Australia. But we haven't really seen a good Nightwing at all. So I'm really keen to see that in some form in a single Batman movie. Second last, Robert Pattinson looks great as Bruce Wayne. I think he fits it perfectly. He's got a great jawline. He looks great. If he bulks up a bit, look, it's not a man crush, but if he bulks up a bit, I think he's going to look possibly the best Batman we've ever seen.
Sounds like a man crush to me, but moving on.
Finally, Matt Reeves is a really, really good director. I think he's very solid. He's got a couple good movies in Planet of the Apes and a couple of other ones that aren't so great, but I think overall he'll do well in this position.
All right. That was a lovely argument, Jacob. But my question to you is, what do you define as a win? Is it the movie that makes the most money, the movie that's overall better, or a combination of both? What is the answer to this question?
Well, I think to be entirely fair, I think you have to say just the better movie overall. Because I think if you say box office, like if you put that into the equation, it's not really fair with Marvel, for DC, because
it doesn't matter. The answer didn't matter anyway, because I'm going to win anyway.
Okay.
All right. So,
okay,
we have arguably the biggest controversy of 2019 when Spider-Man was not going to return to the MCU. People were rioting. People were just upset, in tears. I cried for 3 days straight. I don't know about you, but I wasn't in tears, but I was very emotional about the matter. I remember when we first discussed this it was very heated and against Sony. And I was, threatening to throw my PS4 out the window, and in 5 seconds I decided it wasn't going to happen because I like my PS4 and don't have the money to buy another one. Anyway, long story short, they've set this third Spider-Man movie up to be a banger.
Mm-hmm.
They have the option of going with the Sinister Six storyline, which was teased in the post-credit scenes of Homecoming. They have an option of exploring a bit more of the Mysterio and the after effects that has happened. The people know who Spider-Man really is in Peter Parker. There's so many things that you can explore in this movie, and they have so many options. And also, as you showed me today and gave me a bit of an advantage, Ned has also said that he would love to be a villain in a movie. I forgot which villain it was.
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin. I don't know what he does, but
Smaller version of Green Goblin, essentially.
Okay, so we have all these options, and you could literally have Ned bump steer Peter to, fall into the Sinister Six's trap in the movie, and as his friend. And there's just so much you can do. We have Zendaya and Tom Holland, that duo. You can't beat that. You have, that's how you do a love story right in the movie. You have just everything. You have the kid from Queens, Tom Holland. He's better looking than Robert Pattinson. It's just
disagree with that one. He's a babyface.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's not a babyface.
Sorry, he doesn't have a chiseled jawline. Well, he's not Batman, he's Spider-Man. He's meant to be a babyface.
I don't care.
Anyway, the long story short is this movie is going to go off because of the whole controversy surrounding it in the first place. And the amount of reception of how well received Far From Home was, and how this movie is going to be the end of that. And every movie does proceedingly better with Spider-Man because of, the hype around it. And there's going to be so much hype around this film.
But there's a difference between hype and good movie.
Yeah, it's going to be a good movie.
I do agree with you. I think hype will mean that this movie will, as we said last week, will beat Far From Home and Homecoming in sales. I do not think that doesn't necessarily equate to it being a great film.
Tell me how they can make this movie. This movie will be bad. Tell me how the Spider-Man movie will be bad.
I can't do that because any movie can be bad. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a good movie. I just think the Batman's going to be better.
I have more hope that Spider-Man will be a good movie than Batman. The Batman will be a
I have more hope too, but I think everything that's come. I have more hope in terms of studios, but in terms of what's
that's a big thing.
But in terms of what's already come out and coming off the success of the Joker, which is such a good film.
You can't bring the Joker into this.
I can bring the Joker into
because
this.
it's not confirmed that they're linked.
No, but we still got 2 more years till this movie comes out. There is a very good chance, after what we saw at the end of Joker, there is a very good chance that this movie is connected. Tell me I'm wrong.
You know what I'll tell you? You're using the Joker as a leverage point here. I don't have to use anything as a leverage point in my argument.
No, but you automatically do because all other Marvel films exist. That's an automatic leverage point. And you
Dark Knight exists.
And you use Far From Home and Homegoing.
Okay, fine. I will take that. Your main point was the Joker, though. That's all I'm saying.
Think about it. Think about it. How many villains are going to be in this Batman movie? You've already got.
We don't know. We don't know. The plot hasn't come out.
You've already got a rumored Joker, Penguin. No, sorry, Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman. Just to name a couple. You've already got that pretty much confirmed. You've got a new Commissioner Gordon on the way. This movie is going to be insane. You might have Jonah Hill in the movie. I think this is poised to be a great film.
No.
It's going to be a fresh take on Batman. A fresh, young Batman.
You've missed one big point.
What have I missed?
Everybody hates Batman. We just watched the episode 1 of Batwoman. Everyone hates
Batwoman.
No. Everybody loves Batwoman. Haven't you seen? Didn't you watch the show? Everybody loves. Everybody hates Batman. Shows. He gave up on everybody
in that universe. But this is the new universe. And I'm tipping Batman to beat Spider-Man.
Spider-Man doesn't need to create a new universe because the movie's already good.
Think about it though.
I will throw every ridiculous argument at you to win this argument.
Batman will also be setting up the whole new wave of DC.
They'll fuck it up.
I don't think they will. Good director. Someone else other than Jeff Johns is tied to this.
What would you do? Just completely what would you do if they decided that Jared Leto's Joker was the iteration that comes from Joaquin Phoenix's? In the future, Jared Leto is what Joaquin Phoenix once was.
I've actually thought about that.
What would you do?
And I thought that was a very real possibility, and then I realized Jared Leto's doesn't look old enough to become that.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't hate it.
Really?
I think, I wouldn't hate it as long as you did 2 more Joker films that showed just before he gets to the Suicide Squad version.
Okay.
Then I would be okay with that.
All right. Interesting.
If they showed 2 more, then it'd be like, oh yeah, I could see it happening, and I think it wouldn't be the worst thing. But you'd have to make the 2 more films. What do you think? Would you be for it? No.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather if he connected it to Ledger's Joker. I think they're more similar.
Yeah, I
But like,
do think they're more similar.
I'm talking like pre-existing Jokers. I'd rather them, have their own new thing.
Yeah.
But if we're going pre-existing Jokers, I'd much rather Ledger's and...
Well, I actually don't mind Leto's Joker.
I don't know. Like, I don't mind it, but in the grand scale of like former Jokers, I just can't do it.
No, I think that's very fair. But I think I like the gangster idea. And I think, again, there's a problem again with what used to happen in DC, not now. What used to happen, too much was cut out of the film. Apparently there's like 30 or 40 more minutes of the Joker that they cut out. So
of the Joker movie?
Of Suicide Squad with
really?
the Joker.
Mm.
So I think it would have helped him to have that in the film, but hey.
The only thing I didn't like about Leto's Joker was that it was just too pretty boy. To me, it was just like he's a pretty boy gangster, and it's not like he's like evil. Like, I mean, and I think partly that's because they did the whole Harley Quinn love story.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I look at like Ledger's and Joaquin's Joker, and they're like genuinely scary. Where I look at like Leto's Joker, and it's like he looks like a clown, literally, but he can because of the bad shit he does. Like, if it was just some random like mobster that didn't have any status, he'd be like an idiot.
That's
like,
fair. I do understand that. Yeah. I think you are right in the fact that because it was the Suicide Squad and the love story with Harley, he kind of suffered from that.
He looked a bit more like he looked very.
I would have liked to see him get down more down and dirty with stuff. I agree with you. I do think Let's not talk about Jared Leto's Joker anymore.
Let's just not talk about Suicide Squad because I'll make you upset.
Let's talk about what we've got, Joaquin Phoenix, and what we're gonna get, Robert Pattinson. Let's talk about the bright future ahead.
Well, the Batman's dark.
It's gonna be a bright movie. Watch, you wait and see.
Oh no, I'm excited. I'm excited for both films. 2021 is going to be a very big year for us. We better be doing this podcast full time because we're not going to be able to handle anything else.
We're actually not. I'm not going to be able to leave the house.
No, definitely not. I'm going to have to just...
We'll be wrapping up the Batman, and then we'll have to start on the Spider-Man 3 movie straight away. We're not going to have any time.
We're going to have to do it. And then Disney Plus in the middle of this because the shows come out weekly.
Oh, it's going to be a tough year on the body. I might have to take the year off uni.
Just say, so why are you deferring for the year? Well, it's a big year. There's like 4 big Marvel films. There's a few Disney Plus shows. There's too much coming out. I just can't contain it.
That might actually be the case.
It was either this or my part-time job, and I can't give up the part-time job. I need the money, so uni can take a break.
That's what it looks like is going to happen.
Yeah,
I'll let him know in advance.
Yeah, I should let him know already. Just let him know. Take 2 years off. First year for myself and the second year for movies.
Yeah, no doubts.
That's all right. So that's the end of week 20's show.
Yeah.
Cool.
Please let us know who you thought won that argument in
that really scuffed and shit debate.
Yeah. Again, I'll put another poll out when the episode comes out on Wednesday about this. But yeah, please let us know. Please let us know. I think it's definitely the Batman, but I just want to hear your thoughts first.
I think I got a bit emotionally carried away. But
you did a little bit.
Look,
I think you spurred me on too, though, so that was good.
Yeah, it's fun.
You got me going with it.
That's all right. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to episode 20 of the podcast. If you've made it this far, definitely appreciate it. Please go check out our social medias at TRSM Podcast. Please go check out our Joker review, and please go check out the Polish Man link down in the description. It would definitely mean a lot to any of us, to both of us, if you check out any of those links at all. As always, thank you for listening, and we will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Peace out.